Welcome back to Busy Garden Life. Today I am going to make some hamburger pickles. All right, so I'm going to do it a little different than a lot of the other videos you might see. Now, most of them have pounds and pounds of cucumber pickles ready to go, but I'm not producing that much all at once. So unless I went out and bought a whole bunch, which I don't want to do because I have some in the garden, I am actually going to make smaller batches at once. So I'm going to take my recipe and I'm going to quarter it. I'm hoping that I'll get 2 pints out of this. Not quite sure that I'll have enough. 8 pounds of cucumber pickles is about 7 pints. I'm not quite sure that I have 2 pounds here, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to quarter the recipe in hopes that I get close to that. I have 2 of them that were wrapped in saran wrap here because I picked them about a week ago, and well, they need to be pickled or used up before they start going bad. They'll last about a week in the refrigerator. I use the saran wrap to keep them a little bit better, but ultimately these need to be used. They're not something that you can freeze. So instead of just letting them go to waste or eating them and not getting my pickles, I'm going to do a small batch of it. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to wash these up, and then we're going to cut both ends off and then slice about 1/4 inch or less than that slices of pickles for our hamburger dills. And while I'm chopping this up, I am going to get my water, vinegar, and salt mixture ready. All right, so I use the Ball Preserving Guide. If you don't have this book, it's awesome, especially if you're just starting to can. But I use a lot of the recipes in here. I kind of change it a little bit based on what our taste is, but ultimately, it's a great book if you don't have it. This again is for about 7 pints or 4 pounds. I'm gonna quarter it. So all of my stuff that I'm doing is quartering the recipe. If you want the full recipe, again, you can get the book, or I'll just post in the comments what the full recipe should be. We're gonna do, it calls for 1 cup of water, or it was 1 quart and 1/2 a cup. So we're gonna do 1 quart and then just 1/4 of the 1/2 cup of the water. You don't have to be too exact. It is just your liquid here. And then we need 1.5 tablespoons of our canning and pickling salt. This spout doesn't work great. All right, and then I need 1 cup of vinegar. And you want it to be at least 5% acidity for your vinegar. All right, and I want to get this on the stove because once I get it to a boil, I'm going to drop it to a simmer, and it's got to simmer for about 10 minutes. So while I'm cutting this up, no need to waste time. I'm just going to get this on the stove right away. All right, I'm just finishing up the last cucumber here. And I did forget to make note that I do have my water bath canner going. I have my 2 pint jars in there. Those are coming up to a boil, so the jars get nice and hot with the water. So those are coming up. I do have my water on the stove, and now this is nice and chopped and ready to go, and it looks like we will have enough for 2 pints, so that's exciting there. All right, our water came to a boil. I've dropped it down to just simmer a little bit. We're gonna let it just kind of simmer there for about 10 minutes as we finish letting our jars come up to a boil. I have my lids in another small pan just kind of getting warm as well so that those are ready. And then I'm gonna get the rest of the ingredients ready to go. So we also need fresh dill. Now I didn't get fresh dill from the garden yet. I just had to restart it in my Aero garden because the chickens or something knocked it over and my dill didn't survive. So I did end up just going to the store. You want 2 heads of dill into each jar, and then we're going to get some mustard seed and peppercorns. So we're going to kind of put those in the bottom of the jars once we take them out when they're nice and hot. We'll pack our cucumbers on top and then put the vinegar, water, salt mixture to seal it all off. All right, so let's just give it another couple minutes and then we'll return when everything is kind of ready to go. Okay, so we are ready to go. I'm going to grab the jars out of the water bath canner first, and then we're going to fill and then put them back in. All right, so you could put your cucumbers in first if you wanted to. I like to put all my other ingredients on the bottom. So each one needs about 2 heads of dill. I don't really have the heads, I just have this regular, so I'm gonna put a decent amount in here for each one. Okay. Half a teaspoon of mustard seed and 2 peppercorns. Add more or less of the peppercorn depending on your taste. All right, so now we have those in there. We're going to just stuff the cucumbers in there. I think that I'll have plenty. Actually, I might even have enough for... I may even get another pint jar going in there because I think you want to leave about a ½ inch of head space. It's crazy how you think you might not have enough and you're going to have way more than you planned. I easily have enough for 1 more pint. I knew I should have done a 3rd one just in case, but oh well, lesson learned. Can whip that together real quickly. All right, so we're gonna lay our water vinegar mixture over top. I'm just gonna pour it, actually. Okay, make sure that we have a ½ inch of head space. We're gonna try to just put a little dowel down there, make sure we're getting all the air bubbles out, coming on up. Oh, I need a towel to wipe that off real quickly. Wipe the rim off. Put our lids on there, and then we are going to process this for 15 minutes. We're gonna make sure it comes back up to a boil. Bands on, fingertip tight, right? Yummy. When you put them in the jar, you want to make sure there's at least an inch of water on top of the jars. I'm going to put our cover on and let it go for 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. And I'm going to throw another jar in there real quickly, and I'm going to get some more vinegar and water and salt going. I'm going to have basically what I just did so that I can get a whole nother jar of pickles. Why not use it, right? All right, we hit our 15-minute mark. And now we are going to take them out and hopefully get that pop and cool. And I put that other jar in there, so I'm going to make my other jar, but otherwise those are all set and good to go. This is like a quick and easy method for canning if you don't have the time to do a big huge batch, or if you don't have enough of your produce in order to make a big huge batch. You can do it in small batches. You don't have to have a ton of canning done at the same time. If you like this video, please subscribe to the page so you can get more tips and tricks of what to do with your garden, how to preserve things, and how we can use them throughout the winter when we start to meal prep. We'll see you next time.